to get up.
Yeah!
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Presented by Freestyle Libre. Look at the group that we've put together. Look at the arms on Josh Pate. Everybody loves it. We got the huge college. We're going to dive big time into the countdown of the college games, which are tomorrow night and Saturday and all the rest of that. We got huge NFL games on the slate, and it begins with the Rams and the Seahawks. It's the game of the year, really, in the NFL. It's a little over 12 hours away. Let me set it up. Both teams are 11-3. The winner, according to our analytics, is in the driver's spot to earn the 1 seed in the NFC. If the Rams win, they get the season sweep against Seattle. They'd have a 90% chance to be the 1 seed in the NFC. However, if Seattle wins, they would have about a 50-50 shot to grab the 1 seed with 2 road games remaining. That would be against Carolina and San Francisco. So let's dive in here and let's go directly to the most important piece of this. Davante Adams, we have an injury, Dan. Obviously, that's a great significance to the LA Rams. If he's not able to go or is severely limited, which is what we expect, that's a huge factor in the game.
Yes, but they'll be okay. This is the best offense in football. This is the offense in football, the only one in the NFL that could do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. I would expect tonight 30 to 40 snaps of their 3 tight end grouping. This is a 3 tight end based offense. As good as Davante is and as good as Puka is, to their core, this is an offense that wants those 3 tight ends on the field. They run it. They move the quarterback in their keeper game as good as anybody, if not better than anybody in the NFL. It protects them. And so for Seattle, yes, there's an advantage of having to not pay attention to 2 premier wide receivers, and the Rams will move Puka around. But if you don't stop this 3 tight end run group with this run offense, you're going to struggle tonight.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. I think in the red zone is where it really limits them. The Seattle Seahawks defense is great at limiting points of their defenders, but with Davante Adams, they get in that plus 10, plus 5 area. Defenses commit to stuff in the box. And it's essentially Davante left, Davante right for this offense. And they're able to produce a lot of touchdowns. Without Davante being there, that's going to limit it. It's going to turn some of those drives into field goals, which will make a difference in this game.
I'm going to spoil the ending of this before we get to the beginning. Everyone at this table seems to like Seattle, which surprises me a great deal. Is that a Davante Adams factor? Why do you like Seattle?
I think it's a massive Davante Adams factor. When you look at Matt Stafford, out of his 28 touchdowns in the red zone, what are we looking at?
Keep going.
Out of the 28 touchdowns in the red zone, Davante Adams accounts for 13 of them. And defensively, Seattle, when you're focused on taking away Puka Nacua, trying to stop Davante Adams, it opens up their next best target, Colby Parkinson. But now that you don't have Davante in the picture, you're able just to kind of take care of Puka. Yeah, you're going to have to handle the multiple tight end sets. Right. But I think losing Davante Adams is huge for the Rams in this.
Yeah, I think the story revolves around Seattle. Sam Darnold. He throws 4 interceptions in the first game, and they only lose that game by 2. They missed a field goal. They could have won it. Now it's in Seattle. That crowd's going to be loud. There's so much at stake that you've already brought up. I think this game is heavily favored in Seattle.
Yeah, I agree with Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold doesn't play better in one area, they won't win tonight, and they can't win in the playoffs. It's his feet, and it's getting through progressions. America, watch this tonight. When Sam Darnold moves, does he get off of that initial receiver? This is just this past week, but it's been the story for 5 weeks. Here comes pressure. The Rams are going to pressure him tonight. Get the ball to your hands. You're going to have that unblocked linebacker. This ball should be thrown up top, but he's going to hold it. And now you can mistake and think, oh, Sam's going to make this guy miss, and it's going to become a positive play. That's not repeatable. That's not something that you want to bank on with consistency. Here he is in the pocket. We got these snug, kind of shrunk down, condensed formations. He's going to start to the bottom of the screen. He doesn't like it. Okay, progress. Number 1 not there, number 2 not there, number 3 not there. Number 4's got to be the guy. You're late. That ball, look at it. See how his feet is moved, but his eyes from the receiver haven't? That's the key tonight. Motion over. This is 3rd and 4. Wait, I want Sam Darnold to be aggressive. That safety's going to drop down. You're going to have to take a shot at some point tonight. But I think he's playing so tentative and hesitant to making mistakes that the ball goes underneath. Tonight, America, watch 2 things when Seattle has the ball specific to Sam Darnold. When he moves his feet, do his eyes stay on that same guy, or do they get to the next guy? And then this offense kicks field goals 25% of their possessions. That is not going to win when it matters the most.
To your point about the rhythm of Sam Darnold, whenever he plays against the Los Angeles Rams, like if you look at that last game and those 4 interceptions he threw, it's exactly what you said. He was off timing, and he wasn't trusting his rhythm and letting his feet give him the answers. The other thing was the Rams have a very good game plan when they face Sam Darnold, and they bait him in the throws. There was one play where they showed too high safety. He tries to go to the bender.
Yep.
The safety fakes too high and then comes underneath and intercepts it. That happens multiple times because they know if you get him frantic, if you get him pressing, they know his emergency buttons, and they have a defender streaking to those, and that's where those turnovers happen.
Yeah.
I think he limits it, and if he does, Seattle walks away with a W.
We'll have a lot more on this game as we go. Bottom line, the road to the Super Bowl will likely go through the winner of tonight's games stadium. Meanwhile, that's tonight. Then tomorrow will be in Norman, where Alabama and Oklahoma, two of college football's most legendary programs, will kick off this year's college football playoff. The winner will go up against the #1 seed Indiana in the quarterfinals. As far as Bama and Oklahoma, they played back on November 15th. That was in Tuscaloosa. The Sooners won thanks to 17 points off 3 turnovers. Since Oklahoma joined the SEC last year, the one thorn in Alabama's side has been Oklahoma. Brent Venables has gotten the better of Kalen DeBoer in both meetings, outscoring Bama by 23 points. In the 2 games, OU has created 6 takeaways while turning it over themselves just once. So we'll have a couple of cracks at this game here this morning. We'll get to the little picture as we continue. We'll actually go on the field. But let's start with the bigger picture with Josh Pate here, the commissioner of college football. And he might as well be. There isn't one.
Oh, he
should
absolutely
be, and he
is.
would be the best person to do it. If there's a lot, I think, of speculation about Kalen DeBoer, the head coach at Alabama. If Alabama loses this game, then what?
If Alabama loses this game, then there will be some people who talk about his job security. They'll talk about the prospects of 2026 and beyond at Alabama. I think the conversation will actually shift immediately to what Michigan's doing. Michigan still has a head coaching opening. Kalen DeBoer's put out a statement this week. Kalen DeBoer's talked from the podium in Tuscaloosa this week, and he said, I'm going to be here next year. I'm not interested in going anywhere. Respectfully, I don't think that's enough for Michigan. I think Michigan would require a no, and it would be this really weird dynamic where they lose. We were talking about this morning before the show. Like, normally when you lose, especially if it's Alabama, you're irate, you're upset. Alabama fans, though, they're aware that their coach is in demand. So might you want to temper your anger outwardly that you normally would just express all over talk radio, all over message boards, because you know, hey, the entire working theory around Alabama football right now is, could it be a little too uncomfortable for him? So it's this really weird dynamic. Your coach is in demand. He just lost his 4th game 2 years in a row. But how much outwardly do we express that?
Well, that would be the question. I want it from the Bussin' guys. If they lose this game, does the DeBoer to Michigan conversation get loud?
Absolutely. Even though he put out a statement, even though he addressed the media, he talks about the players, how they've handled distractions, but he just didn't come out and say, I am not going anywhere. Like this job, don't worry about this job. I will be at, without a doubt, Alabama 2026. He could have easily said that. I think it's going to get loud. I think all eyes have been on this Oklahoma-Alabama game. If Alabama loses, I can see Kalen DeBoer going to Michigan.
It certainly will make the noise a whole lot louder, and the storyline that we all deal with, it'll be much more exciting for all of us to watch. During that press conference, he obviously released a statement. He acknowledged the statement that he made, and then somebody asked him, hey, are you going to be the coach in 2026? He sits there, ho-hums around of it, and then another reporter comes in, asks him again. He giggles through a yes of being the head coach of 2026.
He says,
Kalen DeBoer and Kenny Dillingham, they both had statements. They both said a whole bunch of things about how much they love where they're at, but have never drawn a line in the sand and be like, I am not going to Michigan.
Can I ask a question about the?
Buddy, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so for people who are in it, I'm surprised to hear that, at least in theory, the Alabama fans, if Bama lost, would just sit back and be like, well, hopefully he doesn't go to Michigan. I would expect Alabama fans to be irate, going, we've lost 4 games 2 years in a row. Style of game, if they get one-sided like they did in the SEC title game, that would be back-to-back games of them getting thumped. I would have expected Alabama fans to be like, please go to Michigan so we can start over.
I don't think they would be that way. I get where you're coming from there. I think they look at it and say, all right, why haven't we been able to run the ball? There's still a transition in roster going on here, which Curt Cignetti blows to smithereens because, he makes no one else able to have an excuse because of what he's done in Indiana. I think if there wasn't the Michigan thing out there right now, the Penn State thing he swatted away pretty quickly. If there wasn't the Michigan thing out there right now, you would have the